choice.
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
sure that
Sorry
will
about
win.
that.
Radio
Can you
edit
hear
all
that?
disclosure will
Yeah,
be
what the
released
hell's
in the
that?
notes for the stream.
That's my
Meow.
AI cat. I'm sorry. It just started talking. Oh, my bad.
You've got you've got an AI cat.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Chat.
Guess what just became a clip?
ChatGPT is connected to an AI cat that I named Meowsby that came when I was playing Stray, and it became a thing in my stream, and the cat yells out meow bitch, and it really escalated into something crazy, and now the cat is sarcastic and ends every sentence with meow.
Please tell me that
Right.
happens on your work calls.
Oh,
No, because my work desk and my
Different
podcasting
angle.
desk is actually over here. I should have took this from over there. So I have another desk that's set up to kind of do this type of stuff that I haven't really started doing yet.
It's a great it's a great space. I'll say that.
So-
we're both enjoying this space.
Kind of tying together a little bit of that last question and something you answered a minute ago. I agree. We do have as you get older, you have a lot more to offer because you've experienced it, and yeah, having money allows you to do a little bit more. But the money part is exactly what I try to impress on most of the people that come into my stream to listen to me or listen to my podcast or whatever. Is while I do think there are things you can do in gaming and streaming to make some money, 99.9% of the time, it's not a career. I'm sorry, but it is not a career. You're not going to make a sustainable living off of it. You have to go to school. I made a TikTok once that said, I was like, yeah, I finally found a way to make six figures. And as a streamer and gamer, I'm like, I get it. I got a job. I went to school and I got a job. And I got a lot of hate for that because like they thought I was about to give them the secrets of how to unlock money. I'm like, you can't. No, I'll say you can't. When it's only like 0.1%, sure, you can't. Yeah. Like you said, you have just as much. If you start streaming at 16, which puts you in high school, you have just as much a chance of becoming pro on your high school from your high school basketball team as you do becoming ninja level rich. Yep. Just as much chance. In fact, I'd argue there's even less because how many streamers and gamers get promoted to the general public? Pokimane, Ninja, the end, right? Like we know people like Ludwig or people like
Dr.
Nick
Lupo and stuff.
Nobody
like that.
else does outside this space.
No,
but you can have a basketball player that might be on the bench in the NBA and he's known everywhere. Like it's such a small, isolated industry, and I think people forget because they get so caught up in it. Think I'm going to be huge. I'm like, that's not huge. Most partners still have full-time jobs. It just doesn't pay. The best thing you can do, I don't know why I'm yelling. The best thing you can do when you want to get into this is like get into video editing, get into social media management, get into audio engineering, get into graphic design, the peripheral skills that we pick up. Those are good. And it wasn't a question. Apparently, I'm yelling.
Just an opportunity to rant.
Yes.
But, okay. We say that things have changed over time. The kids nowadays are more into that online, watching the live streamers, gaming, YouTube, etc. Who's to say when it comes to their kids, this is a total space where those sports actually start dying off. The physical sports and the celebrity version of it. Eventually it's going to shift, I reckon. And it will, it might pivot more towards this.
Tech?
Yeah.
To kind of just touch on what you said more, I think there is some harsh realities that you're willing to offer people, right? And only the people with the open mind and sometimes just older folks are willing to hear like, yo, that made a lot of sense. I gotta have a job in order to do this shit because I'm never gonna make enough through just streaming alone, right? And I think it's through meeting you and Bearded and a few other people out there where it kind of elevated my way of thinking. It's like, okay, this isn't going to cut it, right? You need to start thinking about sponsorships, brand deals, posting stuff on other things,
Yeah.
coaching, mentor, anything that you can do where you can make and create some other income outside of streaming. And streaming is the place where you advertise, where you talk, where you just have fun and shoot the shit. This
Yeah.
isn't the
Yeah.
moneymaker. This isn't going to blow you up.
Right.
But a lot of folks just
Right.
younger minded, and not to like talk about the younger folks, they just refuse that level of information at this time.
I put
And
it up on my. Sorry, I'll keep going.
um, I don't know that I was any different when I was younger, because you see something in your limited life experience, everything's telling you this is the truth. But when older people
True.
tell you, I don't think it's so much that you don't always believe them, but they're not telling you what you want to hear. The same way that I don't tell people what they want to hear. And so like I'm going to discount it because it's not convenient.
It was pretty funny. A younger guy in my stream in his 20s, he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And he mentioned something about he put respectfully because I seem like an elder, and I was like, I don't care how many parentheses you put around it, I'm still offended, but I'll answer your question.
Banned.
And but the response I gave him was one that I never took myself, which was listen to your parents. And it's really basic, but your parents have that experience to kind of help guide you. And same things, older streamers, older folks, mentors, people that have been in business a long time, they tell you these things and you're like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna be the best streamer ever. I'm gonna be the best content creator. No, you won't. No, you won't. Stop. Stop. Maybe you should look at other things that are out there. It's like, take the advice from the people that have gone through this and can help you save a little bit of time and stress and energy. And I'm not saying to pursue this, I'm just saying pursue it differently. And
I mean, I put it up on Twitter the other day. The reality of like myself, I've changed jobs again. I changed in 2 weeks' time. I've got another significant pay increase. That's the reality of it. Is this is more of a hobby for me now. The better I get at my career, I'm not like some of the other people that have gone, okay, I can do this full time. I only need 500 subs a month or something. Like, no, that's way out the reality. I can't. I've got family. I've got kids. I got a wife. Responsibilities. I can't do the cool stuff. I got to make my meals. 7 nights a week, and we go out as a rare occasion. That's a special thing. I can't Uber Eats my dinners in and live by myself if, smoking weed and streaming all the time or something like that to be cool. Like, that's not me. I can't do that. Like, it's a different level for everyone, and it's that responsibility behind them on whether it is something that they can replace or whether it's not. Like, and it's true. I'd love to do it. I'd love to do this full time.
Right, because it's fun and it's creative. I think the one downside as you're older is you have real life responsibilities now, right? You're not working at a job where you can quit here and go work at the place next door because it's not a career yet. Once you have a career, once you have a family, your priorities have to change, and you need to do things that are can give you that consistent financial security versus something transactional. And I think that's like, if I was in my 20s and I was interested in this stuff, I would absolutely try to get myself into a content house because it sounds like so much fun, and I could embrace it because I had no life responsibilities when I was younger. But it changes when you're older, and you have to think about those things.
I actually look forward to doing more content creation in 20 years time, like that at that retirement age, to be honest. Because I actually feel like as much as be tiring and old and pissed off more than what I am now, the responsibilities of work will be less and less, especially once I retire. Like, I think it's something I actually would still probably pursue harder in retirement, because I can do that. By then, all my children would be moved out. They'd be adults. They're all doing their own thing. Like, it's becoming a teenager again, basically, but at an older age. And there's a lot of older streamers in that category that have actually picked up as older they've got because they don't have that responsibility anymore. They can have fun. They don't need to worry about their income anymore. They've done what they needed to for life to get to the stage where they can retire.
Yeah. So changing it just a little bit. So where'd my note go? So you've been doing this you said for a few years, and I know you at least you were doing some podcast stuff on the side too, with Lou, right? How do you balance all of that with being somebody that works from home most of the time, with parenting your kids a
lot? Number one, so my health is most important, right? So I try to work out or run or something. I have to do something, or else my mind goes crazy. And then work and then family and every streaming or content creation. None of it happens unless my family's taken care of to a certain degree, right? There's sometimes where my wife will be like, okay, I'll take the kids to practice if you have a stream this particular night or something like that. But I usually plan any type of content around my life. My family comes first, and then all other stuff happens. And so just scheduling and communication with my wife, like, hey, tonight I have this podcast with you. And she's like, okay, well, our son has to go to football practice. She was like, okay, I'll try to get off work a little bit earlier so that I can take him versus you take him on Friday. Yeah. And so I've been shifting my schedule, changing it, maneuvering it, moving things. And one of the most important things that I've been trying to build and establish is I don't want a notification to tell you when I'm going live. I don't want a Twitter post. I don't want anything. I just want you to know Wes is supposed to be live around Saturday at 9 a.m. Okay, let me pull up. It's 9:30. I think he's supposed to be on. I know he's on between this and I want that. And so I've been struggling really hard to be as consistent and as on time as possible. And that's only through my wife's support, my kids being okay with it. And then me still going to every game, every parent-teaching conference, still trying to work out and do stuff around the house. And it's been going pretty good so far, but I know there's areas where I could get a little bit better. I've slipped a little bit this year, but every day is a new day to get better and try again.
Yeah. Like with anything else, support is really going to make or break you. Beard and I have talked in the past that neither one of us have a ton of support in our household for streaming and podcasting, which makes it challenging because there's no comfort at home for the struggles you're dealing with or whatever. So that makes it challenging. But when you have that, that's that extra little push you need when you're going through a rough patch or something like that.
Yeah. I brought it up with Pastor Gaines last night because he was talking about feeling bad for taking a little bit of time off or doing something like that. And I said, and he's got a newborn coming, that his wife's pregnant, they're having another baby next year. And I laughed at him. I said, mate, you're worried about it now. You wait till there's a newborn. Like I said, I can tell you right now, I planned on having a month off streaming when I had a month off streaming. It's now 4. Like it's rare now. I'm up to 4 months since I've been on, my average is 1-0. But at the same time, it made me realize last night, I technically probably could come back to it a little bit more. But deep down inside, I'm having the best sleep I've ever had since having the break. Like my sleep pattern has increased. I'm sleeping more generally through the night and more consistent sleep. And I think part of me doesn't want to give that up again either. Like the midnights are cool. I can go to sleep at 9, 10 o'clock nowadays. I don't have to worry about editing my YouTube videos and doing, my 30 TikToks for the month, 60 TikToks, 90 TikToks for the month that I used to do. Like, a lot of that stress is done. Like, every ounce of me wants to be back because that's also at the same time my only ability to game. So I don't game anymore. Right. Anything like that, that's I guess in a mental way punishing on myself because I actually really want to, but I can't make that time back up like I used to.
Right.
But yeah, it's a balance. Like I can't I can't balance it anymore. I've lost all balance. We've talked about balance so many times and consistency, and I can't commit anymore like I used to.
Yeah, I got into this because I like gaming, and I was convinced it'd be fun to stream that. When I got into it, I stopped gaming. Right?
Yeah.
I only had time to do stuff on stream, and a lot of times I wasn't gaming. Yep. And since I've taken a bit of a slowdown, right down to like 1 day a week or so, I'm gaming a lot more, and I'm loving the hell out of it. Again, like, have you? Because I know you game a lot on stream. Do you still feel that same love you had with gaming now versus before you got into this? Do you still have the same time to do it?
I have an even fonder love and appreciation of gaming because of the community. So like when you met me to where I'm at now, I think how I stream and how I thought about it changed, right? So at one point I was like, all right, every week I'm going to get together and I'm going to talk about Twitch news and inform people. And I had a lot of streamers coming by. And I was like, all right, the season's changed. I'm going to get rid of that. And I started having more open topics and conversations with people. So in my stream, every stream for about an hour and 30 minutes to maybe 2 hours, sometimes I'll do it just chatting and I'll talk about random topics, music, aliens, sometimes streamer stuff, sometimes just whatever I come up with or I research that day or the night before and I plan to talk about. And then my community consistently tells me about new games. Hey, try this out. I think this is a good game. I think this would be fun for you. Check this out. Things that I would never play. I was playing Visage on stream. Scary game.
God.
They make me turn off the lights. I have a jump scare. I have a heart rate on me. Every time my heart rate drops below 65, I get an automatic jump scare from myself. And I'm having a time of my life, but I appreciate games a lot more because now my friends are telling me about cool shit that I would have never touched. Before streaming, I only played first-person shooters, and I played Destiny for like 7 years. Because of streaming, I played Hogwarts, I played Pokemon, I played Visage, I played Spider-Man. I'm playing shit that I would never touch, and I owe it to the community and people kind of saying, "Hey, Wes, this might be fun for you. I think you might like this." And so when I stream is when I play games, but also my friends are the community has been so good about getting me back into story-based games. I haven't played story-based games in so long, and I was like, what the hell was I thinking? And so for me, I'm having like the opposite, right? So chatting and then jump into some fun story-based game and have a ball doing it.
That's awesome.
I got really into VR a bit, talking about VR that made him get into the PlayStation VR, and we've spoken a few times about that. And he's like, I really love VR. I didn't think I would. Like, I'm happy I got this. I'm like, you wait till you start. Like, it adds another venture. Before this, I was so off. I'm sitting there on Steam going through looking at VR titles. I'm like, cool. I need that something different to play. What's it gonna be? I did find, there's a little bit side topic. I found a VR thing for emulation and nostalgia. That is a game. It's free. It puts you in a room of the 90s with CRTVs, and you got to plug your console in. Like you put your legally owned ROMs into it, and then you plug your console into the TV, you plug your cartridge in, and then you pick up the controller, and that's all it is. It's a nostalgia hit of how to play emulated games, but in a 90s environment. I'm scared to. I've installed it. I'm scared to load it because I feel like that's just going to consume me for a while. I'll be like, I'm done. See your family. I've time warped back to the 90s now. No one can talk to me again. But I wouldn't have come across it if outside of streaming and being in this space before, like pushing into those new boundaries. It's great.
We don't talk about VR in this house.
No,
because my kids are maniacs. They're out there fucking fighting over VR right now. They have one Oculus. Surprise, I got them the new one for Christmas, but they don't know it because they are monsters and they fight each other over this single VR headset every single day. My son has a Xbox, a brand new computer, but he wants to play the Oculus. They want to play Gorilla Tag. Man, F that VR. It's ruining my life, my patience. I can't do it anymore. I literally want to break it.
I don't know how you do it, Bearded, but so Wes has 2 kids. I have 2 kids, and I know I can't buy one thing. I have to buy 2 because they'll just fight over it. Bearded, you have what, 36 children, I think?
And counting.
How many do you
Like,
have?
I don't know how
5.
you
5.
do that.
Wow.
I don't know how, like,
They all
hopefully their interests are different.
Yeah, they
enough,
are. That's enough. Most of them are, the two middle girls, their interests kind of cross paths for a while, so you kind of were doubling up on things. My son is really the only one that's really hard into the gaming content space. So you go into his room, you know, you got a Breath of the Wild bow up on the wall with, you know, he's got all the gamer cool stuff in his room as well. There's this cool desk that I'm actually jealous of in a way, but I know my setup wouldn't fit on it. The other girls not interested into that. But they were happy with just iPads kind of thing. And then one of the daughters, she plays a little bit of PC games, but it seems like she's not adventurous into the space of gaming. It's I've kind of got lucky there where my son's been able to, like, I've only had one child that really wants all that. They've got their own interests, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do your so I know you said your older son is he's many times better than you at gaming. I think that's how you put it, something to that effect.
Yeah, he's off stream every time Wes is on stream. He's actually off camera playing the gameplay. It's all illusion.
Right. Does your younger kid play?
My daughter, she's getting into games. She plays a lot of Roblox right now. I did a Kirby stream with her last year. We beat Kirby when she was younger. Her like fine motor skills are getting better. She just got into Fortnite. I'd want to say this week when the OG maps came back. So we have like 4 or 5 Xbox consoles, because you remember they were sold as media centers, right? Yeah. So I have them plugged in wherever I have a TV in the house to act as a media center. So like the direct TV is plugged into it, and you have to turn on the Xbox. So she has the ability to kind of play different games. So yeah, she's getting into games. I'd like to bring her back into stream one day to do some more fun stuff with me. But last year she was, after 1 hour, she'd get really antsy and irritated. But she's also a gamer too, so.
That's cool.
We'll see.
I get antsy after about an hour in stream, so I understand. It's a long time to be sitting there and talk. Like, I don't usually talk to a lot of people much before I streamed, and now we're talking for 2 hours, 3 hours. It's like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
I don't talk at all throughout the day.
That's right. So you work from home full time, right?
Yeah, but even when my family's home, like my wife talks more, my kids talk more. I don't talk. I don't get to talk. So when I'm on stream, that's when I do all my talkies because I don't get to talk later on. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it for tonight.
I used to say the streaming was my social interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the majority of my social interaction.
Yeah, it is. And this is something I think that Beard and I have talked about before too. Is, you know, I don't hang out with a lot of people for my job, and a lot of friends that I grew up with have moved away and doing whatever. So like, I have a lot more friends I met through streaming than I have IRL. And my wife finds that bizarre, but it's like, but these are the people that I interact with a lot more than anyone outside of here, because I'm home taking care of the kids or I'm at work.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how's that gone for you, or do you still have a balance between the two?
I don't like spending time with friends outside the house. I was a wild man, you know. It's like the quiet guy is the one that likes to party and drinks on me. Let's buy out the bar. We're gonna have a great time. And so it's like, I got kids at home, and my kids are upset when I'm gone. So I try not to go out. Right now, there's a friend that I met while playing games, and he's in town, and he wants to go out tonight, so we might go have ramen. Nice. So this was interesting that you brought up like meeting people or spending time with folks. I still have a good balance of friends, but I don't really see them. I'll talk to them, I'll message them, I'll check on them. But a lot of my new friends are coming from the streaming space, and people that I'm able to connect with really quick because we have this common interest. And then you dig a little bit deeper, but like, oh yeah, these things are the same. So my streaming friends are starting to grow past my outside friends.
I'm in a similar vein as you. That was me. I thought It's maybe a handful of times a year that I actually catch up with the friends that I've had for the last 30 years or so of my life that I've known since high school. Because life gets in the way, I guess. Everyone moves, everyone does things. It's not as, you're only catching up for weddings or special events. But I find that I'm more in conversation with my streaming friends and my online friends and my creator friends.
Yep.
That's probably who I have the more interaction with on a daily or weekly basis nowadays. It's not bad, but yeah, wife doesn't get it.
Yeah. Yep. I think I find it strange a little bit too. As you're growing up and friends start slipping off and you're focusing on working and raising a family, all that stuff, like you sort of just accept that world you're in. So like I didn't know that I wanted a community it sounds so pretentious, honestly. I didn't know that I wanted like more friends to talk to, but it's been awesome meeting people like yourself and Bearded and Nug and so many other people. It's been great, getting to know people and you feeling like you're plugged back into things a little bit and enjoying the experiences.
Well, I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Going from where you were as someone that's providing a lot of information and coaching, and now kind of taking a step back where you're just enjoying games, do you feel like you've gone more from like a mentor to a peer, or do you still feel like people are coming to you in that, like when someone's a mentor versus a peer when they're asking you for advice and they're kind of afraid to just open up and be themselves with you because I don't want this mentor of mine to look down on me. And so I don't know if you've ever felt that like awkwardness from people, and has it changed since you kind of taken a step back now?
That's a great question. And I want to say no. By the time I got to a point where people knew who I was, it was always a mentor-mentee relationship with most people. And as this year, 2023, as I've gone from here to there to here to there to here to there, I still kind of kept around that same niche when I was trying to be more visible, and so it didn't change. Now that I've really taken a step back, even though I'm still streaming, right, and I'm still doing podcasts, I'm purposely not putting myself into a position to where I'm as visible. But when I have interactions, it's a lot people from the past, I say past, I mean like 4 months ago, are still treating it that way. But I'm trying to go on and just act like a peer. You know what I mean? But I'll be honest, whenever I get asked anything related to anything that would be a life advice or streaming life advice, whatever you want to call it, I can't help but slip right back into educating, because it's just who I am. So I think that my personality kind of keeps it at a certain way, but it's a lot of pressure because nothing feels fully genuine, because they're trying to show you, like you said, their best self. And I'm trying to be professional to an extent, but I just want to be like, fuck it, let's just go get a drink. You know what I mean? But it's like you say that to my employees at work. Like there's people at work. I mean, I would love to hang out with you, but you're my employee and I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Okay. That's fair.
But if you want to get a drink, M West, I would love it. No.
TwitchCon. Wherever that is.
Did you go to TwitchCon?
Me?
Yeah.
We had just went to Hawaii like in July, August time frame or something, and I was like, I am not going on another trip with you mofos. That was enough. And my wife was like, oh, you can still go, but you got to take us. Respectfully, I want to stay out and do whatever networking thing that I need to do, and I don't need you to be like, oh, how come you didn't come spend the time with us? I can't.
Why don't you
that.
Introduce us to your friend?
I can't. I can't do that, and I've loved to gone to kind of network with some of the folks and businesses and things like that, but I had to say no because we just went on a trip and I wasn't going to do it again with my family so close. I'm exhausted.
I don't know what I said publicly when I decided not to go. I feel like I made something up. The truth of the matter is I didn't want to go anymore. Like I hit a point where I'm like, I didn't care enough to go anymore. Like you networking, like, but I don't want to do anything. Like I don't want to do a collabs. Like I could go and I could meet all these people, and you know me, I'll set up a schedule of guests for like the next 4 years out of going to one TwitchCon. I don't want to. So I'm like, to protect myself from going right back into something that's just going to get me overwhelmed.
Yeah,
I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to go and subject myself to that, to myself. So,
sense.
Mr. West, I'm going to wrap up here because I am getting messaged by my wife to come back inside. But anything you'd like to promote or pitch as we kind of wind down here?
Something simple, and it's the end of the year, right? November, December time frame, and people suffer through all types of mental health issues, right? Ups and downs. Some folks don't have jobs. Some people have lost loved ones. I think my message to everybody is just make sure that you're checking up on your friends, your peers, people in the community to make sure that they're okay. And I'll be doing the same thing because the holiday times, as great as it is, as much as I love it, there's a lot of sadness that comes along with it. So I don't have anything special going on. No special collabs or guests for my crumble cookies and chatting. I just want to end the year on a positive note. And I want to say thank you guys for having me. And thank you to the community for allowing me to make it this far in my journey. And that's it. That's all I got.
Appreciate it. It's been great having you. Great talking to you as always. Beard Nova, anything you'd like to wrap up with?
No, it's been fantastic. As I said to Wes the other week, it's been a good few months since we've done something and been on camera together or talking. So it's great to actually have that again. I think the first time we interacted actually was on Morp's channel, to be honest. So it's great to see that these connections, I guess, are still around. And
you should tell the truth, Bearded. You blew my mind when you had the full camera house, and every room you went in, a camera turned on.
Everyone
I was like, who is this guy, and what is he doing? I want to be like him when I grow up. I was like, I'm just gonna go to the kitchen. I'm in the bathroom right now. I'm just in the hallway, but like, oh shit, he's in the hallway.
That's when I was like, it was a mature streamer house of just myself.
It was very
and
cool.
The dogs.
Very cool, man.
All right, Amos, thanks for hanging out.
You've been listening to Dad Mode. Our passion is navigating this wild journey of parenthood and modern life. From balancing family time to managing your career and still squeezing in some gaming and content creation. And no matter what the women say, they will never be able to pry the controller out of our cold, dead hands. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, find us on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at Dad Mode Podcast. And we can be found on every podcast site at Dad Mode Podcast. Y'all be cool. See you next time.